That's it.
No. Tell me again. No, come here. Come back. Tell me what you just said.
You could get disability.
I could get disability for what?
That's all I'm saying. You can get disability.
No, tell me what can I get disability for?
You know what you can get disability for.
Just tell me. Just say what you just said to me.
You can get disability. That's all I can say. And you should do it.
Okay, you should come out here and have the balls to tell me what you just told me because I don't agree with you.
With your diagnosis.
With my diagnosis, okay.
You can get disability.
I could get disability.
Yeah.
You mean the diagnosis from the medical staff that I think should be lined up and shot as enemies of the state?
I don't want to fight with you. I just wanted to let you know that. I think that would be a good
They are from foreign countries, and I don't agree, and I'm not accepting their diagnosis because there's nothing mentally defective of my person.
Well, whatever, you could get paid for it.
I would get paid for it if I agreed with their process, which I do not.
Okay, well, all right, I'm sorry. I just wanted to let you know.
Okay, goodbye.
But you've assigned him to the plasma relay room. His talents could be put to better use.
Believe me, I've tried. When I give him more responsibility, he doesn't do the work. Heron wants to be down on deck 15. It gives him more time to repostulate the origins of the universe.
As you can see, security is functioning at near perfect efficiency. However, Commander, if you arrange the phasers in the weapons locker so that the smaller rifles were in front, they could be more easily removed in the event of an emergency.
I'll look into it.
Crewman William Telfer.
Billy, he certainly ruined my score.
He visits the sickbay almost once a week complaining of illness. Invariably, you examine him and find nothing wrong.
Mr. Telfer is a hypochondriac.
One last thing. If you want to go down that route, I would help you.
But he's afraid of medication.
Have you tried counseling?
He's afraid of that too. All I can do is scan him and offer him reassurance.
Wasting your time and medical resources.
What about Astrometrics? Looks like you could use some improvement yourself, Seven.
You're correct, unfortunately. Tal Celeste. Sensor Analyst Grade 3. Her work must be constantly double-checked. She should be removed from Astrometrics and reassigned elsewhere. Perhaps to engineering.
Forget it, I've got my own problems to fix, remember? That'll be all said, and thank you. Dismissed.
Through Medicaid, you can get paid $31 an hour. But you have to have like someone that you're helping. Like if you help like maybe your parents or maybe your dad, or if you know like a neighbor, even a neighbor or an aunt or a relative or a friend. Medicaid will pay you $31 an hour to help them as like an assistant or whatever, like a nurse, say. Did you know that?
No, Anthony, I don't like anything about...
It would be better than working as a cashier. That's what I'm saying.
I get it, but listen to me. Having me hospitalized and now using that diagnosis as a crutch, not the best defense.
All right, so then that I'm not talking about the diagnosis. I'm talking about something else. I'm talking about...
You realize that I'm not accepting their medical diagnosis.
Forget about the diagnosis.
They are not even Americans.
All right.
They are from some foreign nation, and I don't agree with their medical services, period.
Okay, I agree with you. I'm not talking about that. I'm saying something different now. What I'm saying...
They are weaponizing the medical system, and it's not acceptable.
Okay, all right.
I'm not accepting it as an okay, outcome.
All right, listen, I'm not talking about that now. I'm talking about something different. Through Medicaid, you as a nurse... You have you know about medical stuff, right?
Are you wearing a United States Marine Corps shirt?
Yeah.
Okay.
I used to wear these shirts when I was a kid. I love these shirts.
Right, I'm sure.
Through Medicaid, you could get paid.
Okay. This conversation is over.
Right,
I am finished. Thank you. No, go about your business. I am still in the United States of America with an ONE at the back of the first president and General George Washington. On the front porch, it's Jackson. On the back, it's the White House. And that's the United States flag. That is the second Taurus. He's astrological Taurus. The first astrological Taurus arrived in the year 1976. He arrived in the year 1975. I'm a 1978, and I'm RH sensitive. I was watching that particular Good Shepherd episode of Star Trek Voyager this morning, and their theoretical conversation about how one grows up on their home planet, in the Alpha Quadrant. Right now, in space exploration terms, I'm on some Delta Flyer mission, perhaps. I don't know what happened to Alpha Quadrant. I don't know how the Delta Flyer drifted into Taurus territory. It's like being born and built in home planet, knowing that your future is a Maserati, or like I don't even know the names of the really luxurious cars, but whatever they are. And then for some reason, you get sideswiped and shoved into the back of a Taurus, which is like a lower economy American car, and then driven around by a crazy lunatic. And you keep looking out the window for signs of the Alpha Quadrant, or even a crew member from the Delta Flyer. And you're just like, where is home? Like, where does it exist anymore? Because it walks around in a United States Marine Corps shirt. It is not Marine Corps. It's not my Marine Corps from home planet. I don't know what it is. But in all seriousness, it had me committed to a hospital saying that I was crazy, and now this diagnosis in order to take custody of my son away. Meanwhile, it has a drug addiction and whatever it has. He crashed his truck in DUI. It's on public record for criminal enterprise. And then he called me as his whatever, and I'm like, call your sister, I'm not picking you up. It just, there is no relationship here. So I don't understand, like, and then I was looking at something that Meta put on my feed, and something that Baby Yoda put on in whatever those engines are, where like two female Baby Yodas, which kind of look like Gremlin, are speaking to one another about they didn't realize that the marriage, the ears were sold separately. Again, in surveillance, that seems really critical. But my whole point is that my upbringing and my home planet is not compatible with whatever he was raised for or on as farming. And the building blocks of whatever RH sensitivity I have, I don't know where home planet is anymore. I don't know how to look for someone from home planet. I don't know if there are compatible home planets to the home planet I grew up in, which was Lloyd Harbor to Cold Spring Harbor in the same district, in a series of very protected rooms from whatever that is out there. But this 5-15-15, which they call marriage on a state paper, is not acceptable. Not for me, not for my son, not for whatever. And then to think that there's like a larger macro possibility of things going on, even more concerning. But it's also this trend that's been going on, and I don't know how to correct it from a single cell like eukaryote. If I go in scientific terms, I don't know how to get away if that's the parasite. I don't know how to, as a eukaryote, to form something worth living for the rest of the time that I have in wherever. or even how to get away at this point. But that's just a sample of the conversation of the crazy and the psychoticness that tells me that I should be lucky. It has no job, it has no house, it has no compatibility with me and my parents, and yet it tells me that I'm lucky that it stays. And frightens me that he is going to take my son away from me and then I'll never see my son again. That type of interior bullying and psychoticness, I'm not used to. Like, that's some of those psyops that are just unacceptable results. I mean, I deserve better. Um, I work on a different human programming, different logic programming. I was not meant for this level of entrapment. I don't know how I got here. But it's part of a problem. It's star 1978, star 8378, Nicole Cattaruzza, it's Earth, solar system, Milky Way, universe, galaxies, broken. And the problem is designing and building a woman that belongs in a different type of vehicle, a different type of spacecraft, a different type of environment and economy. And then, like, putting her in the back of a Taurus and just telling her, like, essentially locking her in that Taurus car to quiet and silence her. And it feels like psychological torture in that Taurus vehicle that the humans built at some level, which they call marriage, but it's in New York and North America, and it's unacceptable.